Hi there. Welcome to another one of my Own Your Expertise interviews. I'm Emily Crookston, owner and decider of all things at the Pocket PhD. I'm the ghostwriter for Rebels, Renegades, and Mavericks, and I love helping experts with big ideas get those ideas out of their heads and into the hands of their fans. Today I'm sitting down with Maggie Bergin. Maggie is the owner of Be Understood Branding. She's a brand strategist on a mission to help service based companies eliminate brand vagueness. Maggie, thank you for speaking with me. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about who you work with and what you do?
My name is Maggie. I'm the owner of Be Understood Branding. I am a brand strategist on a mission to kick brand vagueness or vagueness in general in the dick. I work mostly with service-based businesses because I find service-based businesses have a lot of heart and a lot of uniqueness and have the most trouble expressing that.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming the expert you are today.
Well, I started my background is in government affairs, and I was a very successful government affairs person, both on the legislative side and on the advocacy or lobbying side. And then as I was working in government affairs, I have a degree in government from Smith College. I watched money play a larger and larger and larger role in politics on both sides. So you have to be at the table if you don't want your issue on the menu. And to have a seat at the table, you must write checks. That was how it started. I left because it was the amount of money that you had to write in a check went up and up and up. And then they weren't returning my clients' calls because I wasn't writing checks. And that's the moment at which I just thought, this is disgusting and I got to do something else. What is policy advocacy? It's marketing.
Mhm.
So instead of selling a tube of toothpaste, you're selling an idea and a way to achieve that idea. So I moved directly into marketing, worked in marketing for a long time, making the content that is driven by the branding I now help people create. I started to wonder, forest through the trees, why are we selling this tube of toothpaste? Who is our target audience? How do we determine things like that? And I became very, very interested in branding as a result. And the nice thing about service-based industries or companies is that, they're able to connect with what their personality is, because oftentimes it starts with the personality of the founder or the co-founders. So it is my desire, Emily, to create the playbook to hand to folks who would be making content, blog posts, images, promotions, and just that they have complete clear guidance about what to make so that it resonates deeply.
Yes, it's so helpful to a writer. We appreciate that kind of work for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And some writers do it too, themselves, but I'm always like, no, I don't want to wade into that. Just give it to me. Just
Yeah. Yeah, to stay in your zone of genius
yeah,
and spend time doing
right.
the things you love.
So tell us, what is your die in a ditch belief? So for the audience, I always like to ask my interviewees this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. A die in a ditch belief is something you've thought about long and hard. It's something you'd be willing to defend if you were pressed. It might be a little controversial, but it draws a line in the sand for you. So I'd love to hear, Maggie,
Uh,
what's your die in a ditch belief?
I was born a communicator, and I believe that we as humans developed language for a reason, and that reason is to communicate. So clear communication, like every single other thing that makes us human, is a skill that you can pay attention to and learn and seek guidance on, or you can just take the baseline you were given with.
Mhm, mhm.
So I want to be understood. So my die in a ditch belief is that there is value in making an effort to be understood.
Mm.
I want to help create language that speaks to jerky pantses so that regular human beings can have regular human lives as opposed to having to fight and interact with systems of oppression.
Actually, this is a skill that I could learn, and it would be beneficial to me to learn how to cultivate and figure out how to be understood, because it's so true. I mean, there's so much power in having an idea and being able to get it across in a way that other people understand. It's almost as if you can't do that, you're at a huge disadvantage. Whether you own a business, whether you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, it doesn't matter. Communication is key to everything we do, and key to relationships. Right, I mean, all of it. How have you learned to translate that expertise for others? Because I think what you're talking about is playing a role as a translator in a way.
There are, as I'm sure is the case with the work that you do, there are certain tools. So if we were gardeners, we would have a set of tools that we could use. Would those tools guarantee a beautiful garden? No. But if we understood how to use them, if we understood a few things about the rules around what the eye is drawn to, so there's rules and then there's tools. The human brain, most human brains operate in much of this the same way. So that combined with specific questions that I've developed are how I attempt to help people be understood. So I'm going to explain to you how the human brain works. I'm going to give you a sequence of exercises, and in the end, you will have something beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's yours. That's you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such an important thing. I like that you're working with service-based businesses in that realm as well, because I think for me, with my services, that kind of scaffolding, or some templating kind of work is like so valuable, because getting it out of my head is the hard part, and getting it in the place where it needs to be. So I think having that kind of offering is really huge for service-based businesses, especially. I think that's
I don't understand, and I would love to know if this is my experience is that being good at something and being good at talking about that something are two completely different skills.
Yes.
And then once I figured out, like, oh, I'm a process guy, that helped things. It helped my role become like a little more clear in my head, which, as you know, like makes for happy clients down the road.
Yeah. Process is so key, because it's one thing to say, oh, trust me, I'll get your brand. But if you can show them, like, but I have a process of pulling it out of you, that's attractive.
Which it should have surprised me, because you think, like, what is branding? Ooh, it's so mysterious and magical. It's not really.
Right.
It's really not. It's just a process. It's a series of questions. Now, how carefully you answer those questions and how deeply you think about them and the iterations you allow yourself, those will impact the quality of it. Their brand is theirs, and I want the world to see it.
And a brand isn't finished. That's another thing that I'm learning. It's never done. It can always evolve, right? Even 2 years after having my website done, like, I look at it now and I want to change so much of the copy, or so much of the visuals, all of it, can shift and change. Yeah.
That's very normal. And I'm so glad to hear you say that, to normalize that where we are in one moment and what's important to us and our clients in one moment will change. How we come to understand the best way to talk about what we do will change and evolve. And logos are hard to change. Words are easy to change.
Maggie, this has been a great conversation. I've learned so much. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yeah, tell people where they can find out more about you if they're curious.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're so kind. Thank you so much. It's my website is Maggie. It's just my name, maggiebergin.com. So it's MaggieBergin.com, or you can find me at Be Understood Branding on Instagram and Be Understood on Clubhouse.
Awesome. Thank you.